Hey guys, welcome back out to the garage. Today we're going to be doing another unboxing. This time, our friends over at Comgrow have sent us an Air Assist. So, if you want to find yourself an Air Assist for any of the Xtool laser cutting series, so for the D1 or even for the other models they might have on the market, this Air Assist is compatible and it is significantly cheaper than buying the one from Xtool. This bad boy right here is only $69 directly from Comgrow. So, let's jump into it and see what comes in the box. So far, we got packing foam on top, keeping it nice and safe. Here we are. Nice, we got a parts list so we can make sure that we got everything we need out of the box and we're not missing anything. Put this right there for everyone to take a quick look at. This is what you will expect in the box once you unpack it. Okay, let's start looking. So we got some tape, we got our zip ties, we got some brackets to help hold the hose up once we mount it to our module. We got the hose, and the hose is already pre-fitted with a barb, so it makes it easier. You can go ahead and just connect it up to your source pipe. Ooh, this model looks fancy. So on this model of the Air Assist that they've sent us, we have a variable output. So after you turn it on, using this knob right here, you can actually adjust how much PSI you want to output from the pump. That's going to be a very handy feature to have. This is something that the Xtool Air Assist does not have on it, so being able to have this ability to vary how much flow you want coming out the output will definitely help us make better cuts. They give you a couple of different sizes of the elbows that go on to the different lasers, so depending on which model you have, they give you both options. So you don't have to worry about getting one that's not compatible with your laser. They give you the cone, and again, it comes in both different sizes, so you're good to go. This one comes pre-mounted to the bracket to help put it on. What else do we have in our box? They give you, for the 10 watt, it would appear, this would be a new little housing for it. This obviously won't fit on a 20 watt, it's too small. But again, they're sending all the parts you may need to connect it up with your Xtool D1. And that is it for the box. So, pretty straightforward, really easy to do. This end of our hose will end up plugging into one of our desired elbows. It'll just slot right in like this. Look at that, done. This will, before you put the hose on it, the hose can be detached again. You just push down on the collar and it allows the hose to pop back out. But this just threads in. You can see up on this camera here, a little bit of thread. That just screws into your module, into either the 10 watt or 20 watt. And the elbow should then end up sticking upwards once it's fully inserted into the module. You bring your hose in, shove the hose into the slot, and you're good to go. The other end over here that has the barb is already kind of ready to go with the pump. It will just slide onto the pump like so. And the only thing left is to plug it in, turn it on, and get cutting. So let's take it over to the laser, and we'll see what kind of performance it has. See you over there. Okay guys, we got it all set up now over here at the laser bench. There's a few things I want to go over before we actually start cutting. So, taking a look at it here, we can see that we have our knob to turn it on and off. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And we have very low output. It's also very quiet, just a little hum. And as I turn it up, you can start to hear it work. And I haven't attached this end yet, but you can hear the pressure of the air in this. It does feel like it has decent PSI coming out this end for such a long hose as well. Another feature I want to look at real quick was this also has the rubber feet. So if the machine was actually on the table, you can hear how loud that got with the vibration. But these rubber feet take away all of that vibration noise and make it super quiet to run. This will get mounted below my bench here, so it'll be out of sight. But once this is mounted and running, I probably won't even hear it because the laser itself will be louder than the pump. So let's get it connected up to our laser and see what we can cut out. This is going to be the test with the Comgrow Air Assist turned on to its max PSI. Okay, looking at the results here of the two different engraving tests. The top one is where we did not have the air assist turned on, and our bottom one is when the air assist was turned on. There's not a huge noticeable difference here, but the one thing you can tell is in the top one, on the Comgrow symbol, there's a little bit of burning around the edges of the top left edge, and overall the interior of the etching is a little bit darker with a little bit more debris left behind. Where in the bottom one, when the air assist was turned on, the edges were a little bit cleaner and there wasn't as much residue left behind. Now we're going to try cutting test, starting with no air assist and 3 squares to see if what speed and what depth we can cut to. So as you can tell, when we're moving that slowly, it causes quite a bit of flame damage. We did, however, on the second two, where we were moving 2 millimeters and 1 millimeter per second, actually managed to burn through part of the board. So that was pretty close to cutting through. Now we'll try the exact same test, but with the air assist turned on. Let's get the air assist cranked up. And here we go. So, I mean, we can already tell the difference that the air assist has made. Over here, we don't have any burn effect like we did over here. Just so much cleaner. And this one is just about ready to pop out. With 2 passes, that would easily be pressed out. It might even, oh, there it goes now. So that can actually be popped out with just a single pass on a board that thick, which is pretty impressive. So Air Assist has definitely made a huge difference here on using the cutting abilities just for not having any burnout and for the amount of depth you can get with a single pass. And there we go, I just popped it out. The one thing I wanted to see after popping it out is how much char is here. And there was some there. So still a little bit of debris, but actually a lot less than I was expecting. I was expecting this to turn my hand completely black, and I got just a little bit of residue on my thumb. So overall, pretty good cut. You can see how thick that was for just that one single pass. That was a pretty good cut. Okay guys, final review time of the Comgrow Air Assist. So the first test that we ran was just doing a regular engraving using the Comgrow with the Air Assist turned on with its full PSI potential. And our image came out quite well. There was no residue, there's no burnout on any of the lines, the edges are nice and clean, everything looked really good. And then we ran the exact same image again using no Air Assist with everything turned off on it. And the image actually did come out quite well. There was a few spots where we had some residue that was a little more prevalent, but other than that, all the lines were still good. There was no burnout. Everything still looked pretty clean. I would have to attribute this slightly because of the fact that I used a small image and I was running the laser at only 50% power and at a very high speed. We were running at like 140 millimeters per second, so there wasn't a lot of time for it to really burn the wood or cause a lot of that burnout. But overall, both images did turn out great. So the Air Assist there definitely cleaned up the residue and helped keep the laser itself clean, but didn't affect the overall end product very much there. Then we flipped over and we did the cutting with the Air Assist off. And if we look back at that part of the video here, we can tell that very, very bad on the burn, especially when we were doing the 1 millimeter per second. We had lots of large flames. The burnout was over an inch away from where we were actually trying to cut from the flame. So not a very clean cut, didn't make it all the way through, and it would have ruined any project that you were trying to do. And then we did it again with the Comgrow Air Assist turned all the way back on, full max PSI, and not from the first cut, but the second cut at 2 millimeters per second, we actually made it all the way through. We didn't get enough through to actually be able to pop the image out. We would have had to do it twice to get out a nice clean image. But on the 1 millimeter per second, with a little bit of pressure around the edges, I was able to, on one pass, pop out our square. And after popping out the square, we checked for the residue, and there was still some residue, but it wasn't that bad. If we would have did 2 passes, it probably would have came out, it would have just fell out, we wouldn't have had to push it all, and it would probably have been a lot less residue because the second pass would have helped clean it up. But on all 3 of those passes, regardless of the speed, there was no burnout, there was no destruction of our image. The product at that case, if it was actually something we were trying to sell, would have came out super clean and looking perfect. So definitely makes a huge difference when you're trying to cut or you're doing something with a deep engraving. The Air Assist is almost a must. You can't go without it. Looking at the actual Comgrow Air Assist itself now as a product, even though they did send me this one, so it's like semi-endorsed, my actual full review of this product was that it's really no different than any of the other Air Assists I've seen. I do have an Air Assist from Xtool, and I've run both of these Air Assists now side by side for multiple cuts and multiple engraves, and I see no difference. The Comgrow one is under $100, and that's shipped and to you. The Xtool one is closer to $200 by the time you put shipping on it. So, I mean, for half the price, you're getting the same product, and the Comgrow has the additional feature of being able to turn the Air Assist PSI down. I'm not overly sure of when you'd want to turn it all the way down. I mean, there's probably some cases where you want to just do a light engraving, like potentially the engraving that we did during our test. I probably didn't need the full PSI for that, so if I wanted, I could have turned it down. But, I mean, I'm probably going to leave it set to full blast and just let it run all the time because it doesn't hurt, and it's not like it's super loud or causes any destruction on its own. So, a nice little feature to have though, but for just the price point, half the price of what Xtool is charging for their Air Assist, and really, there's no benefit in performance with the Xtool. The Comgrow Air Assist is performing just as well. Can't really say better because they both, when I put them side by side in a head-to-head, they can both do the same ability, but overall, just the price point and even the look and style of the Comgrow with the extra features, I don't know why you wouldn't go with that choice. So that's it. That's kind of my honest review of it. And with that review, guys, if you want to buy yourself Comgrow Air Assist, check the description down below. I left a link to their website so you can go check out the Air Assist and many other accessories that Comgrow sells, including other lasers at a discount price. And like always, if you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're always posting something different, and your subscription will really help me out. If you have any other questions about this Air Assist or anything else that you want to see on this channel, leave it in the comments down below, and I'll for sure get back to you. Thanks. Until next time. Later.